Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as IvyWinter. Thank you for joining me for another unpopular Disney opinion. So today's opinion is going overseas, and it is one that I feel is unpopular due to, well, what people have told me and things that I've seen online, and I'm just gonna say it. I think Disneyland Paris is a highly underrated theme park. The reason I think it's underrated, well, I'll go through, but let's start with what people's issues with it are. I feel like there's a lot that goes around online that says that Disneyland Paris is just not worth it. It doesn't feel like a Disney park. It doesn't really rank up there with the other locations, and it's just not really worth visiting. And as a lot of you guys know, I have been there. I went there in September of this year for my first trip ever, and I could not disagree more. I think Disneyland Paris is absolutely fantastic, even taking into account, yes, Walt Disney Studios Park, which is not amazing, but I think that Disneyland Paris has a lot going for it, and it is highly underrated. Now, a lot of people have complained about going in the past and having poor experiences with customer service, with the cleanliness and upkeep of the parks, and it just not feeling like a Disney property. And so I do want to say that my experience comes from really recently, right? I was just there not even 2 months ago, and a lot of things have changed since this park has opened. So from the moment that Disneyland Paris opened all the way up until 2017, it was actually run by this like third-party subsidiary that was not actually the Walt Disney Company and not Disney Parks as we know it. And so due to that, there's probably been a lot of changes and differences since Disney took it over and is actually operating it day in and day out. So it's not to discount anyone who has told me that they've had a poor experience there. I just want to preface it by saying that I have gone since they have taken over, which was only 2 years ago, and I do not feel that I saw any of those issues. The park was beautiful, it was very well kept, the cast members were great. So I do feel like it's partly underrated because people are thinking about its past and how it used to be run, and I think it's a little unfair now. I mean, fair to have those opinions and feelings of that experience, but now it has changed so much, I think it is totally worth visiting. I think that it is underrated also because people see it and think, well, it doesn't have a lot of attractions. Sure, it does not have nearly as many attractions as Disney World or Disneyland. That is 100% true, at least in terms of rides. But Disneyland Paris, what it lacks in like actual attractions to go on, and it makes up for in these walkable attractions. And it has all these places that you can explore. So there's this Aladdin walkthrough attraction that has the whole story of Aladdin. That's super neat. It has all of these windows that show different scenes from the movie with different animations happening within it, and I thought it was so cool. You walk through these alleys that are like back alleys in Morocco, and you see the whole movie play out in these scenes with the music playing. It was awesome. You also have all of the caves right before Pirates of the Caribbean, which are, I would say, like Tom Sawyer Island's caves, but, times it by 100. Well, maybe 100's a lot. Times it by 10, because there's a lot of different caves to walk through. They go out to different areas. You can go up to suspension bridges. You can go to a skull rock area. You can go out to the pirate ship. There is a lot to be seen in that one single area. Beyond even these walkthrough attractions, it's just, I feel like their theming is so much more. It just took a step further than a lot of what we've seen. Phantom Manor makes it really seem like you are entering this huge manor, and not only that, but the grounds ahead of it. I keep laughing because my cat has a collar, and she's in this room right now and jingling away, so I'm just laughing every time that happens. Phantom Manor feels like the full manor plus the grounds around it. It feels like you're actually walking through the gardens to get in there. You actually walk through the front door. You've got the big front gates. It feels bigger and almost more ominous than the Haunted Mansion to me. Though granted, I will say I enjoy the Haunted Mansion as a ride much better, but I just think that the atmosphere and the detail that go into the outside of Phantom Manor is amazing. Frontierland as a whole felt like it had more going for it. It just had all these little interesting details that I don't really see in the Frontierlands in Disneyland and Disney World that I just thought were really, really neat. Adventureland blew me away. You had a whole section that was Aladdin inspired Moroccan. Really, really cool. Then the next section felt kind of Animal Kingdom like, had a lot of Lion King stuff. And then the next section was the Pirates area, and this was all in one land. It just felt like you were going through a bunch of different ideas of what adventure could be, and I thought that that was super, super neat. Even Discoveryland, which is very different from Tomorrowland, has a Jules Verne steampunk-esque, feel to it. Just felt so unique and interesting, and I think it really blew my mind seeing it, because I've never pictured Space Mountain the way that their Space Mountain is, and seeing that in person was really unique and cool to see. It is also true that Disneyland Paris is the most beautiful park. Gorgeous. Walking in the front gates, the fountain, all the gardens, the big Disneyland hotel welcoming you, and you walk under it to get inside is unbelievable. The hub area and, going up to the castle, all the beautiful garden and flower beds that are there was crazy. I mean, you've got an animatronic dragon underneath the castle. That is the coolest thing ever. You walk up into the castle, and honestly, my immediate reaction was just, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. It was just this beautiful stained glass and statues telling the story of Sleeping Beauty. I'm not even the biggest fan of Sleeping Beauty, I'm not gonna lie, but I really fell in love with what they did there and how they told the story of that princess. And while yes, Walt Disney Studios Parks it is lacking in terms of theming, it definitely has its issues and probably is my least favorite Disney park that I've been to. It still has really strong attraction contenders. They just suffer because I think they sit in a park that itself doesn't have great Imagineering, but things like Crush's Coaster was so unique and fun. I really loved Mickey and the Magician, which I think was my favorite stage show ever. I love Festival of the Lion King, so I think it's kind of fighting with that one, but it was just so, so well done. It just has things that I think are worth checking out. It's just a shame that it's in a park that aesthetically and theming wise is not so great. And talking about rides that are better or awesome, they have the best Big Thunder Mountain hands down and the best Space Mountain hands down. 100%. I wish I could take both of them, replace the ones that we have with those two rides, and I think going to Disneyland Paris just to ride those two things over and over again would be 100% worth the money. I think attractions alone, they have some very, very strong contenders, even if, like I said earlier, they don't have a ton of them. I think now with the new changes of Disney taking over and really running it, we're gonna see it get better and better. And they're making all these additions and changes, and I think that it's gonna be really something in the next 3 to 5 years. So that's my unpopular Disney opinion. I would love to know what you think about Disneyland Paris. Have you been there? And if you have, did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you go pre-Disney running it, after Disney started running it? If you've never been there, what have you heard about it? How do you feel about it? Would you ever want to book a trip? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, then like it. If you like me, you should subscribe. I make videos every single week. I also have a Discord that has been amazing. We've got such a great community building there. It was kind of born out of the book club, but now has expanded to just general chatter. It's been really, really fun. So if you want to check that out, check it in the link below. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a Shmee, with all that jingling, I think you're gonna have to be a part of this video. My cat Shmee and I would like to say thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great rest of the day. Bye.